Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, I want to talk a little bit about resentment. Probably because there's something going on in my life right now. A person who keeps calling me in the family up to before Christmas, up to 10 to 15 times a day. Since Christmas, he went down to one, and then he came back up a little bit, and now down to one again this week. And it brings lots of resentment because we're still human, even though uh, whatever we do for a living, and that brings can bring lots of judgment about ourselves. Well, I should know better by now. I should be over that. I shouldn't get triggered, and all those kinds of good things. And sometimes it's easy to say that it's to think that the other person is the trigger. No, just hear the phone ring, and she's one of the very few people who actually use a landline. So we know when it rings, it's that person. So, and it brings resentment because there's more demands and more crisis, and every day is a new drama. And the thing is, it has nothing to do with the other person. Even though it looks like it has nothing to do with the other person. It's our mind. It's a trick of the mind. It's our mind because we have all this history. Now, if there's some, probably is there someone in your life that you can think of that if you have to deal with that person, it brings resentment or it brings anger. But it's a trick of the mind. No, because we're just thinking of the other person. It brings all the history. That's what our mind does. It looks for all the history about that person. And then we feel again triggers, but it's just a trick of the mind. It has nothing to do with the person, nothing to do with the other person. It's all our judgment about that other person, the judgment that maybe that other person should be different or should act differently or behave differently. Has nothing to do with that other person. It's our judgment that other person should be different, or that the situation should be different, or that our life would be better if that person was not in our life. But it has nothing to do with the other person. It's just our mind responding out of habit. And we have no control over that. No control over that. It's just a kind of a protection. Now our mind, like all the history over the years with that other person, and now hear the phone rings. Oh no, it's that person again. And it's just out of protection in a sense. But like I said, it's just because we would like to have things different. And as much as I would like to be enlightened, okay, and be in control, and to be able to love everyone all the time. The thing is, we're still human. We're still going to judge, right? And that brings to have compassion for ourselves, because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we can go back. No, it may be a flash, and then, oh yes, what I'm doing. Come back in the now and be calm. But sometimes we it takes over. And whatever, like I said, as much as we'd like to be able to love everyone all the time, we're still human beings. We don't become spiritual zombies. uh, and so we just allow what shows up in the moment without analyzing, without trying to find a solution, but just allow it. That's what's happening in the moment. Let it go through you. Because what you are It's not that emotion. It's not the anger. It's not the resentment. That's not who you are. You're just the space in which it happens. You're not the slave of it. You're not the victim of it. Like I said, no need to judge yourself. Oh, I should know better. Yeah, well, you just add another layer to it and more judgment, right? So you just be aware of it. That's what's going on. And it will go through you without adding another layer of judgment towards yourself, right? Because like I said, it's not who you are. You're not that resentment. You're not that anger. You're just a space within which those things happen without judgment. Because like I said, we're not zombies. It's still going to happen, but you get triggered less and less, and uh, for less time, like not for not as long. Uh, that's what I meant. I meant. But to be calm and zen, like 24 hours a day, 365 a year. Well, if that's your goal, good luck with that. And even enlightened people sometimes apparently lose their shit. Not for long though, from what I understand. No, they do get a flash, but they come back in the now very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. And that's all we can wish for ourselves, but still have compassion for ourselves when that happens. And that's all I have to say. And on that, well, we'll see you next week. Ciao.